And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. Always helping you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. We promise to do our absolute best to help you win in your real estate deal. And we also have Jay Smith in studio with us, A-Snoop Inspection. He's the owner, longtime friend of the show, a-snoop.com. We're going to talk about this rare earths mineral deal. Also, Ron DeSantis' recent tweet that he put out, due to litigation reforms, Progressive, one of the major insurers in the state of Florida, refunding nearly $1 billion to its auto insurance policyholders in Florida. So in addition to filing for significant rate decreases as well. So the insurance industry getting better. We talked about Florida Doge and the possibility of the tax reform as well on primary residence homes. There could be an opportunity on the ballot. There will be an opportunity on the ballot to eliminate your property taxes. So a lot of good stuff happening in the state of Florida. So we'll talk with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection coming up. Also, Captain Will Smith Aviation, back in studio with us, also with a special guest. We got Thom and representing his seafood company as well coming up here on the program. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate listings. It's part of a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches. We maximize the exposure. We broadcast our listings the entire Gulf Coast of Florida, always down to Naples, Fort Myers, up to the Panhandle, over to Orlando. And, maximum exposure leads to a shorter marketing period and maximum profit. So we got a marina for sale right here in Tampa Bay. This one's the Weeki Wachee Marina. It's listed by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty, and it's 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. $3.7 million listing. It's 3/4 of an acre lot. It's an established waterfront business with irreplaceable real estate on a Weeki Wachee River. You have a multi-use property that spans 3 waterfront parcels. You have multiple income streams coming in as well. You've got John boat, kayak, and paddleboard rentals, dock space for commercial vessels, private vessel storage, also a retail building that's offering fishing and boating supplies, on-site ice machine that's generating income. You also have a rentable space above where you could either have an on-site manager or live-in manager or potential Airbnb rental. Long-standing team in place for service and repair operations as well. So you have an authorized Suzuki service dealership there that can help you with your repairs on your vessels. Multi-use flex space as well, opportunity for additional income and new ventures. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Weeki Wachee, home to the mermaids up there as well, Jay. That's what I heard. I heard they had some mermaids up there.
I've been looking for some mermaids. Is that where they are?
I think they're
I got to head up there.
They got a park. You can float down the river on a tube and do some fishing maybe. All right, so we also have a bar for sale. So let's stick with the commercial theme. We got a bar for sale out in Plant City. So anybody looking to invest and buy a bar, we're listed the Finish Line Saloon. It's 5402 West US Highway 92. Plant City, Florida, 16 square feet. You got about a third of an acre lot, 16 taps, ice machines, 4 flat screen TVs, on-site ATM, jukebox, 2 pool tables, website, established online presence as well. And you also have that 4 COP license. It's a coveted COP license, which allows you to go mobile. So you could take your liquor license to Gasparilla, for example, if you wanted to do on-site festival-type locations, you could do that. Great opportunities to buy real estate. We have about 50 current listings, vacant land, residential, commercial. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio show expert contributors at ConsumerQB.com.
He ain't prejudiced, he's just made in America.
All right, Jay Smith back in studio with us. A-Snoop Inspection, welcome back, sir.
All right, good to see you.
Yeah, man. What's new in your world? How are things going?
Just trying to figure out the market.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy market right now. I think we're going to have another little boom coming, I believe.
Yeah, me too, man. There's a lot of different factors playing in. We were talking a little bit before about the potential for interest rate improvement. That federal funds rate doesn't directly coincide with the 30-year fix. That's more long-term bond related. But yeah, overall, it looks like we are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm feeling a little bit this week, and I think next week will even be better.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in New York and Minneapolis, some of these cities where they're talking about electing a socialist, or some would say communist, that has terrible ideas that were always proven wrong. But unfortunately, there's an electorate in that city that is brainwashed, or call it ignorance, call it whatever. But essentially, if that were to happen, if you have that radical elected in New York City, there's going to be a infiltration in Florida. I mean, there's going to be migration. We're already number one net migration in the nation. So if you think about what could happen there with those elections, combine that with the property tax reform happening with Florida Doge. Dave, let's throw up those stats for Florida Doge as well. Florida Doge now I guess it's probably close to $1.5 billion now of waste, fraud, and abuse that has been found. Call it wasteful spending, call it waste, fraud, and abuse if you want. But Orange County's $190 million exposed wasteful spending. Jacksonville, $199 million. Hillsborough County, right here locally, $278 million of wasteful spending. Alachua County, $84 million. Broward, $189 million. Seminole County, $48 million of wasteful spending. So Blazing Ngolia, Governor Ron DeSantis doing a great job snuffing that out. And I think this kind of this it's essentially like the old school where you take a bus, you're on a campaign, right? You're going across the state. That's only 6 counties so far, 7 counties, and it's almost $1.5 billion of wasteful spending. What happens when they get to all 67 counties, Jay?
The numbers are going to be staggering. I mean, it's hard to even comprehend what's going on.
Yeah, it really is. And even Manatee County last week was another one that was, multiple millions of dollars. But so my point is that it's going to be on the ballot to potentially remove property taxes from primary residences only. Okay?
Yeah.
We're not talking about commercial properties, Airbnb, investments, of course, raw land. We're not talking about that. It's it's primary residence properties only. And we talked to our friend Bernie Jocks. He's a state representative here locally out of Largo, Florida, District 59, I believe. And he outlined a couple of ways that they're looking at doing this. One is over a 10-year plan. If you want to be real conservative, hey, every year you're going to add $100,000 to that homestead to eventually where it's kind of phased out. And then the other one, I guess, would be kind of the Stone Cold Steve Austin style, just getting rid of it altogether in a 1 year period. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, it could be big for us, though, Florida realtors. Because when you think about the impact, right? Real estate, mortgage, title, home inspectors, insurance companies, mortgage, title, all these different companies, home improvement.
Well, I mean, we both have families, but I think about more of the seniors. Eliminating that for them is huge.
Yes.
And I think that could, we've already got a nice retirement crowd here in Florida for some reason. It's been that way for a little while now.
Yep.
That'll boost it up again.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll want to retire here again, and then you need all the services behind it, the whole 9 yards. So,
yeah,
like you said, another influx of people, which has the pros and cons.
It does, yeah. Well, we were talking about this D.R. Horton lawsuit as well. Homeowners sued D.R. Horton over deceptive home sales and financing scheme. So that was a class action lawsuit filed, I guess, October 1, I believe, is the press release. But when you have that, when you have an influx in people, these home builders have to kind of meet the demand. Because there's only a certain amount of resale homes. So then you have home builders trying to meet that demand. You have, lawsuits that come from those things. So it's interesting to see, the impact of that. And also I think about the water supplies, the sewer, the septics, even the landfills.
Schools.
Yep, schools, the strain. Now with schools, it's interesting though. In Hillsborough County, did you realize last year there's 7,000 kids that stayed home and they went homeschool instead of going to public schools. So that might balance itself out a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see. Pinellas County had something about 3,000 or so as well.
Yeah.
Families saying, hey, we're going to keep our kids home. We don't want this left-wing indoctrination. We don't want this LGBT crap being taught to our kids. So, yeah, it's a complex thing, isn't it? But real estate is such a driver, right, Jay?
It is. And the schools, they should get back to education and not, propaganda.
Yep, and not indoctrination. Education, not indoctrination. One of the other cool themes I really like happening in the country is the Christian revival that's underway in America. You look at the effects of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and Dave, we have a graphic for this one too. Bible sales, almost 42%. So Bible sales are up in this country 42%. According to Fox News. App downloads, almost 80% for the Bible app. Christian music streaming, up 50% as well. So there's a Christian revival happening across the United States of America, and primarily due to Charlie Kirk, man.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think he'd be really proud of what's going on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he left what a legacy he has, his team, his family. And then the competing halftime shows. Have you heard about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the competing halftime shows. I haven't followed it the last few days, but it'll be interesting to see who they end up having as a competition.
We know there's a ton of possibilities.
Yeah. I've heard Kid Rock. I've heard Chris Tomlin. I've heard, how about Morgan Wallen? That's a big name in country music.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying they want to have a Christian uplifting, something that is along the lines of and I love that song, Brandon Lake too. Brandon Lake, he's got his gratitude song that's out. I believe they played that at his memorial, Charlie Kirk Memorial. But yeah, if you just joined us, we're talking with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection, longtime friend of the show. We always talk about supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. Jay is online at a-snoop.com if you want to get a home inspection done. And there's many reasons to get a home inspection done, Jay. It's not just when you're buying or selling. You could get a home inspection done for many reasons. Can you elaborate?
I mean, after a bad storm, you may want to get something checked out like the roof.
Insurances, maybe.
I mean, even you and I talk about this all the time. Getting the inspection. Let's say you're thinking about putting the house up for sale in January. Well, guess what? Go ahead and get a pre-inspection done now. And I know the holidays get crazy, but then you could plan out some of those things that may need a little bit of tweaking around your house to make that sale go easier.
Yep.
So, you can take it upon yourself and give A-Snoop a call, and we can take care of that.
Yeah. And what happens is when you get that upfront inspection done as a home seller, you're about to list the property. You're not under the gun from a buyer. The buyer's going to want it done, and they're also going to want it done by a company that has the licensing and insurance, et cetera. Where if you find it yourself, maybe you have a friend of the family that can do a handyman type job and still get it done. We're not saying it's not going to be done properly. You're going to pull the permits. You're going to do whatever you have to do. And that's another question I have, Jay, because there's so many questions around permitting. I don't know if you heard about this lawsuit, but there was one down in South Tampa, $14 million. He spent $14 million on one of Tampa's most expensive homes. Now he's suing. So the buyer's alleging that there wasn't proper permitting pulled, I believe, and they're claiming more square footage than actually showed on the public record. Maybe that I'm not too familiar with the details of that case, but generally speaking, you have permit issues come up as well when you look at your home inspections, don't you?
We do. Permits that aren't closed a lot of times. We're looking at it, and they got a permit, but then, 5 years ago the roof was done, but it was never finalized. Now, I hate to give this little caveat, but, that was COVID. Let's just say, for instance, 2020, and things did fall through the cracks. Sometimes it's just a clerical error, a couple phone calls, and it can be taken care of. So you never know what the actual issue is.
Yeah, and we've seen some where you have, windows done, or maybe other things, relocation of a wall, things of that nature, or maybe a fireplace was there and they closed it out. They took the fireplace out and made it just a nice window, or where you could see the water side of the property. And then a lot of times homeowners, they don't know what's supposed to be done. And even as realtors, how far are we supposed to dig in to ascertain, because each county, each municipality is going to have different guidelines, right? It's not all just uniform throughout the state.
Well, you're talking especially like windows and doors. There's different guidelines everywhere you go. You've got, I don't know how many, 12, 14, 15 different municipalities just in Pinellas County.
Right.
And each one of them does a little bit different and have different requirements.
Yeah. Gulfport, Clearwater, Dunedin, Palm Harbor,
St. Petersburg,
St. Pete. Yeah, all these different places essentially have their own governing bodies. So one could say, oh, well, for the water heater, no, that's fine. You can go ahead and do your own water heater.
Yeah.
And then some would say, no, you got to pull a permit on that water heater.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I rarely see permits for water heaters. I mean, that's a rare occasion.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's do a quick break here. More with Jay Smith coming back here. Jay Smith on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's our home inspection expert contributor, residential, commercial. Support his business online at a-snoop.com. He's also on facebook.com as well, A-Snoop, and consumerqb.com there as well. Online, follow us. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble channel out there, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20 plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, we're back here in the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. Also, think about our show as the hub of your financial, your real estate, your business wheel. You know, we're the hub of that financial wheel, and each one of our spokes extending out, representing another one of our on-air expert contributors. We've got great attorney, CPA, financial advising. We have all types of great home service providers, plumbing, electrical, AC, all those different roofing, of course, all those different areas. Technology, we've got tech experts that can help you as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com, and we're in studio here with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection. Online at a-snoop.com. Work with him locally here for all of your inspections as well. Have you heard of the pythons protecting Florida's native wildlife. Governor DeSantis and the Florida python has taken over down there. Burmese python in the Everglades. Interesting stats. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment. And actually, we'll jump right into it. So, Jay, have you heard about this problem down there?
I've heard about the problem. I'm just not sure what they're going to do about it.
Well, let's see what they're doing. It says fighting invasive species here. The Burmese python introduced via pet trades. So females can lay up to 100 eggs at once, and that's mind-blowing. It's like, wow. But here's some of the stats here. The program removal, the program is called the Patrick program. So you have different partnerships. But just in 3 months, from May to July of 2025, so just recently, 1,022 pythons have been removed. And if you compare that to the previous year, 2024, you had 343 during that same period the last year. So that's tripled the number of removals. And in July alone of this year, 748 removals of the Burmese pythons, which threatens all of the other wildlife. You think about you think about all the birds and the of course you have the alligators down there. You have the panther, Florida panther, bear. And so the removals have tripled, and FWC management workload is down 89%. Python hunters' pay increased by 60%, boosting morale and professionalization as well. So thanks to these results, the state's $2 million initial investment funded through the year. Governor DeSantis requesting funding be maintained annually to continue a hard work of python removal and build on the progress Florida has made fighting these invasive species. Your thoughts? You want to go down there and go hunt some pythons?
I'm not interested. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are. I was actually asked once to go down there to do it. They're like, come on, let's go. We've got a team together. I'm like, nah, it's not my thing.
Yeah. That would be interesting to see. I don't know how close I want to be to one of those things, but yeah, hey, and it also talks about the preservation through Everglades restoration. So you look at some of the restoration major milestones. You got C-43 Caloosahatchee River. That's 10,000 acres, $55 billion capacity now operational. So they're draining the floodplains. How that all changed over the years. Even John Anderson had a song about it. They made their plans and they drained the lands. How the glades are going dry. That's his song, Seminole Wind. So it's interesting to look at some of these things. But if you just joined us, we're talking with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Jay, I want to get some final thoughts from you, consumer tips, things to think about. And you're also doing commercial properties as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the big things is when you're looking for a home inspector for any property that you're purchasing, consider what their experience is. I've been in construction for over 40 years, been inspecting for 14 years now. And unfortunately, a lot of home inspectors do not have that kind of experience. Yeah. I can answer the majority of your questions right there on the property. So if you are able to be there at the inspection, we'll go over it from top to bottom and I'll answer all your questions right then and there. And even my fellow inspector that works for me, he worked in the electrical field in construction for many years, and he can answer a lot of your questions right there. And that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for new inspectors. I want some construction experience.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, answering those questions, especially first-time buyers, they're going to be, a little bit green in the areas of, hey, how does the HVAC system work? How's the humidity affect these homes? Those are things to consider.
And we like going over some of the basic maintenance. I mean, these are the things that you should be doing at your house, whether it's monthly, annually, wherever that it may be. So if you can spend some time with us, we're more than happy to spend some time with you. Yeah,
that's great. Reach out to the show. We'd love to put you in touch with Jay Smith, A-Snoop Inspection, a-snoop.com, 813-917-1894. You can call the hotline, 813-917-1894. We'll put you directly in touch with Jay. He's the owner, and also online at consumerqb.com. Jay Smith, longtime friend of the show, residential, commercial inspections, and make sure you get them done. And it is your right also on new construction to get that independent home inspection done. Don't rely on the builder, and you make sure you get it done at the 11-month mark as well after you purchase the home before that 1-year warranty is up. Jay Smith, thanks for coming in, sir.
Good to see you.
All right, likewise. Coming up, we have Captain Will Smith in studio. Will Smith Aviation. We'll talk about Will's Way Foundation and the gala, really cool gala that we put on every year I say we. I'm one of the board members now. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Captain Will Smith joining us in studio, Will Smith Aviation. WillSmithAviation.com. Also, friend of the program as well, Thom Flavorin, back in studio. Crab Island Dips. You can find him online, crabislandseafooddip.com. We'll dive into that here coming up in just a moment. Also, we're going to touch on the Trump tariffs and, the Supreme Court. This case is being taken to the Supreme Court to see if Trump would have the executive authority to impose these tariffs in the trade wars. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about that here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. As you know, we're powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and we always feature our listings live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate. South Taylor Road, Seffner. Let's start off with this vacant land property. Buy some dirt, build some properties here on Taylor Road in Seffner. This one's 2.5 acres. You are high and dry in flood zone X, and you have a great opportunity. This is zoned for duplexes here. Allows up to 6 units per acre, and potentially putting duplexes on there. Of course, you got to check with the county. You got to walk through the processes in place to figure out what you can build and what the setbacks are and all that good stuff. South Taylor Road, Seffner. Which is an area that's experiencing rapid growth, new residential communities, and commercial developments. Easy access to I-75, I-4, of course, as well. South Taylor Road, Seffner, Florida, one of our land listings. We got about a dozen or so vacant land listings, so we'd love to talk to you if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing. If you're looking for land, commercial, vacant land, residential properties, we'd love to talk to you about those. Let's take a look also at 3222 Jackson Drive, Holiday, Florida. Another one of our single-family listings here. This one is a residential property, 1126 square feet, beautifully furnished lakefront home in Holiday, Florida. It offers gorgeous lake views, direct access to both Lake Conley and Lake Nash through a peaceful canal. Open layout filled with natural lighting, welcoming screened-in front porch, spacious kitchen, generous-sized bedrooms as well. I love that open concept kitchen there with the lighter color kitchen cabinetry. Beautiful property there overlooking the waterfront. 3222 Jackson Drive, Holiday, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see our radio, TV show expert contributors also at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com.
And yeah, I'm racing like after those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Yep. Shout out to our veterans out there. And Tom, if I recall, you're a veteran as well?
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir.
United States Army veteran.
An Army vet.
Airborne infantry all the way.
Nice. All right. Good stuff. Thanks for your service, sir. Appreciate that. Yep. I had an opportunity to play quarterback for the Naval Academy. Turned it down. My dad was an MP in the military, but they wanted me to play quarterback up there. It's too cold for me. Too cold up there in Annapolis, Maryland when I went up for my trip, and ultimately decided to stay in Florida. But anyways, yeah, so Captain Will Smith back in studio with us. Will Smith Aviation. What's new in your world, sir?
All kinds of things. You're talking about the tariffs. I mean, we've seen where planes coming from other countries, they're getting by $1 million more because of the tariffs, and that's going to us. So it's very interesting on the planes that are here versus the planes that are coming over here. And some of the popular planes like the PC-12 and the Phenom 300, 100, those tariffs they're working.
Yeah, they are. Hey, Todd, would you do a real live search for us here? What's the tariff income that the United States has brought in under Trump's policies? You could say since whatever date, I guess. But I'd be interested to know what the tariffs have brought in. I want to play a clip also about these Trump tariffs because there's a lot of blue state AGs that have challenged the tariffs, that Trump's abilities to levy these tariffs, which to me, it's a trade war. We should have all of the disposals. It's kind of like a football team having, these teams can do steroids, but this team can't.
Right.
It's like, come on, give us a break. What are we going to do here?
Tariffs. President Trump warns U.S. will be struggling for years if Supreme Court rules against him on tariffs. Trump warns U.S. will be struggling. Rob, if you want to play this clip, go ahead, Rob.
If we win the tariff case, which hopefully we will, it's vital to the interests of our country. We're the wealthiest country there is. If we don't, we'll be struggling for years to come.
$65 billion.
Okay, so he says that. Let me read this to you as he's going through the tariff situation, which, by the way, I fully agree with him. And a bigger part why I agree with the president is the following. How the hell are you supposed to negotiate? How are you supposed to threaten your enemies?
Yeah, that's Patrick David talking about that on his podcast. So Todd did a real-time search there. So $1.65 billion in tariffs raised for the entire Trump presidency, fiscal year so far. Yeah. So 1.6, almost call it $2 billion almost.
And it's not even a year.
Yeah.
It's not even a year yet.
Yeah, it's not even been a full year.
Exactly.
Significantly higher. Yeah, a lot of the other presidents were part of the global cabal. They're part of the globalist scheme. They're part of the the Clinton foundations and the Obamas, and so it's interesting to see. But anyways, tariffs. It gives us the ability to levy that. Play that trade war with these guys. And Trump signing the $8.5 billion rare earth deal with Australia. Other deals have been signed as well. Has the tariffs affected the seafood industry, Tom? Have you seen that happen?
Yeah, mainly. The crab industry, you're going to see a very large increase for now as they push back to bringing the crab more domestically.
More domestic crabs, yeah. So
they're locking down a lot of the prices in Vietnam, Indonesia,
right,
and also the certifications, which a lot of these plants didn't have. So now they're bringing it back more domestically, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and what I've heard about the seafood industry, of course, I'm not an expert in this food industry or anything like that, but when you look at a lot of these Asian countries, they use the bigger nets. They don't have as many regulations as we do in America with shorter, smaller nets, and sometimes you have to use lines, right? So it's not even fair.
I want my crab meat coming from Indonesia. I saw that when I was in a local food store, and I looked. I was like, "Where is this?" I mean, why didn't it say from Chesapeake Bay?
You're right.
Why aren't we? We got crabs over here too. Why are we ordering crabs from Indonesia? That's on the other side of the planet.
Yeah. Well, America first, baby. That's what we want. We want America first, bringing it back. And then you were going to say something, Tom?
Actually, the shrimp industry is actually launching quite nicely now, coming back here into the States. And they're seeing a lot of industry coming back and saying, okay, let's do domestic shrimp.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing because the bottom went out on the shrimp industry as well.
Right. Yeah. If you just joined us, we're talking with Captain Will Smith in studio, Thom Flavorin, Crab Island Dips as well. Best seafood, awesome dips. If you like those dips, go to crabislandseafooddip.com or reach out to the show. We'll put you in touch with Tom, and he's a local military veteran. Support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. Captain Will Smith, also, in the news too, you've got this government shutdown and you have these issues with air traffic controllers. I saw an interesting News Nation interview with, you had Chris Cuomo up there, you had Stephen A. Smith, loudmouth Stephen A. Smith, you had who else was it? Jim Jordan. They brought out Andrew Covey from Turning Point USA, and then another similar counterpart to him was a Democrat podcaster guy I'd never heard of, but he seems to be somewhat popular for his leftist positions. But it was interesting because there was a crowd. Someone in the crowd stood up and said, "Hey, I'm an air traffic controller, and I've been having to drive DoorDash in the evenings just to meet my bills, just to pay the bills." And so it's interesting to kind of see the reaction. So what's your take on that? What's happening in the industry?
Well,
aviation?
So with ATC, I mean, every time I go up and fly, we're flying tomorrow. We tell the guys when they're handing us off from one controller to the other, "Hey, man, thanks for coming to work." Yeah. Because they're going to get all their money back. It's just being like held back.
The back pay.
So it's the back pay. And yes, that is correct. Some of these guys on the weekends, just so they have some cash flow, are doing this stuff, which is ridiculous.
It is.
The Democrats have hijacked America.
They have,
once again, because of their selfish needs and wants.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous. And they need to stop doing it because planes have to take off and have to land, and it has to be the number one thing that ATC is control of is traffic separation. That's their number one job.
Right.
And if you don't have enough ATC, then guess what's happening? That traffic separation may or may not happen.
Yeah.
So when that happens, it creates delays. They can only have so many aircraft in that certain airspace at a time.
Right.
And this just backs everything up, and then the regular person, the consumer, is trying to get from point A to point B, misses their flight's delayed, or they just cancel the flight altogether,
right?
Because there's not enough ATC controllers to handle the amount of traffic.
Yeah, and it's so glaringly obvious that the continuing resolution should have been passed. It was passed the 13 previous times, and then the $1.5 trillion that you keep hearing Mike Johnson talking about. Is new monies. It's monies they wanted to bring back into the spending fold. Where no, that should be negotiated separate from continuing to have the government open. It's just so weird that and the problem is there's so many left wing media outlets and places where people are getting bad information, disinformation, and they're just believing they're falling for these perpetual lies that the left just pushes out. And it's just sad that we're at this point in our country where the TDS syndrome is really to a point where it's making these Democrats do these things, and it's jeopardizing the everyday pay for the soldiers. We even put together a bill for the soldiers just to have them paid, and I think they voted no for that or wouldn't show up for the vote, right? But anyways, yeah, it's interesting to see how these things affect. What else is in the aviation industry? Whatever happened with all those drones? Remember about 6-8 months ago there was all this activity going on with drones.
Yeah, they just disappeared
after Biden got out of office.
Yeah, exactly. They all disappeared. So I don't really know what happened with that, but they just stopped talking about it because it wasn't a talking point anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any UFOs. I haven't seen any drones.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still drones being operated out there, of course, but it's just for some reason it's not the attention that it once was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the government obviously was spying on somebody. That's where all those drones were out there. We're just trying to figure out.
You think that's what it was? Spying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Spying. Yeah.
I mean, why would you operate a drone at night?
Yeah.
There's no other reason for that unless you're trying to capture something or something's going on.
And if it's over our airspace, it's very low chance that it was a foreign adversary, right?
Well, at night, you can turn off all the lights and then you can't see, and then you're going dark at that point.
Okay.
So you can't see when they're up there. You can hear them.
Yeah.
But you can't see them.
Yeah.
So why would you turn off, the nav lights on a drone? The only one reason at night is because you don't want to be spotted because you're doing something that you're probably not supposed to be doing, or you're spying on somebody or spying on an area. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason to do it. I'm interested to see what happens with that, but yeah, it went dark, and I haven't heard any more about them.
Yeah, it's interesting, looking at that and some of the other. So last year, talking about your other point too. By the way, if you just joined us, Captain Will Smith is that voice you hear, as well as Thom Flavorin, CrabIslandSeafoodDip.com. I'm your host, Brandon BRimes. But you had also last year, to your point, as far as the air traffic control, we had that helicopter hit the plane, or the plane hit the helicopter. Yep. What was that? What ended up coming from that?
Well, that is, I believe it's still in an investigation by the NTSB. It was ultimately the helicopter pilot's fault.
Too high.
They were in a space they shouldn't have been. The aircraft that has the right-of-way is the aircraft on final. That Delta aircraft was on final. It had the right-of-way, and it was a sad event, but it happened. And it's the air traffic controllers. There was supposed to be one for the talking to the helicopters and then one talking to the civilian aircraft, which is the Delta. There was only one trying to work both of those. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two is putting an inexperienced pilot in the helicopter that wasn't familiar with that area and that route and what altitude to be at.
Wow.
It wasn't the Delta's fault. They were on a flight plan, on a flight path. They had been cleared to land. They were on final, short final, and they had the right of way.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but we will see once the government finishes doing their investigations on who they're going to pin it to.
Wow. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Captain Will Smith, WillSmithAviation.com for all your travel, private travel, skip the TSA lines, travel in style, and talk a little bit about, some of your recent trips.
We just brought on a new Pilatus PC-12. It's a new generation called an NG, so it has all the fancy glass in the cockpit, and it's got 8 seats. It's not as fast as the jets. It's a single engine turboprop, but it's great for going into the Bahamas. So we're going to use that a lot for flying into the Keys, flying into Bimini, going into the Bahamas. Bimini is growing a lot, so we're going to do a lot back and forth from Tampa direct to Bimini.
Yeah.
But it's that time of the year that people are coming down from up north to get a little bit warmer, and this is our busiest season. Q3 is our slowest season, but Q4 to the end of Q2 is our busy season. So we found a lot of traffic that's moving back and forth of going up and getting the snowbirds and bringing them down or taking them on vacation. So, and this being the holiday season, it's going really, really well. We're doing a lot of promotion through Instagram and Facebook, and we got some promotions coming on that. So if you want to follow us on IG or Facebook, absolutely jump on, see what we're doing.
Will Smith Aviation, check them out online, Will Smith Aviation, and CrabIslandSeafoodDip.com. Support the local economy by supporting our friends and our local area business owners here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, quick shout out to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. That's patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. Use that code consumerqb for free activation. patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. And we'll be right back. More with Captain Will Smith in studio with us. Thom Flavorin, Crab Island dips. You got to try these dips, y'all. These are great. He's got
delicious.
Some back here in the green room. We're trying the different flavors. What are some of the flavors again, Tom?
So we have a total of 6 flavors. We have a smoked mahi, smoked salmon, and then we have in our crab line a Mexican street corn, a jalapeno popper, a crab rangoon. Love it. And a spinach artichoke.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's so good. So
delicious.
Good. All right, quick break. Right back. More with our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, Captain Will Smith in studio with us, Thom Flavorin, Crab Island Dips as well in studio with us as well. Always helping you win as a consumer advocate. Of course, we're a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay. We like to feature our real estate listings live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate listings. 10413 Main Street in Thonotosassa. Buy some dirt and build. This is a great opportunity now. 3.63 acres of vacant land. It's Zone PD. It's a commercial type property, and you are in the growing city of Thonotosassa. And right across the street on this one, I believe you have a commercial building as well. This is 10413 Main Street in Thonotosassa, positioned to become a cornerstone of the thriving local economy. Great opportunity. Your access to local major highways and thoroughfares there at 10413 Main Street, Thonotosassa. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Also, check out all of our radio show experts at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Captain Will Smith in studio with us. So I asked the question to ChatGPT. It says, what's the latest on flying cars? It says, flying cars have made significant strides in recent years. Various companies, startups around the world working on developing prototypes and actual models. While flying cars are not commercially available in the way you might expect, here are some of the latest developments. So there's one called Terrafugia, a company owned by Geely, also owned by Volvo. PAL V, personal air and land vehicle based in the Netherlands. Aero Mobile. So there's some companies that are, making some strides there. Have you seen?
That's
heard
a
anything?
scary thing, Brandon.
Isn't
Flying
it?
cars. Some of the people you see you're driving around. Can you imagine putting them in the air? I mean, my God, what a nightmare!
Hey, they better have a. Well, we better do some upfront screening on that
I
too.
know.
I mean,
can't go down to the DMV and get that license.
No, yeah.
So that's I don't know. That's
what about autonomous flights? Weren't there some flights coming like from Tampa, St. Pete to Bradenton, Sarasota, something like that?
Well, that's the LV toll that they're putting together in Tampa International Airport right now. They're building another terminal, and on top of that, it's going to be these takeoff and land vertically, takeoff and land autonomous.
Really? Wow.
Aircraft, and people will be able to come into Tampa International. They'll get in these aircraft and they'll do the commute to Brooksville, or do the commute to Sarasota, or do the commute to Kissimmee. So that's already in the works at Tampa International. But it's going to be neat, and I see that happening. And the autonomous side of it is it's all great until lightning strikes.
Wow.
Then what happens? Because these are all computer aircraft. They're battery powered aircraft. And if something were to happen, it's like weather always gets in the way of everything.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the first test passenger?
Test dummy.
Yeah, exactly. To see how that works.
Yeah, not me. I don't think I want to be in that. So that's interesting to see where aviation's going. And Will's Way Foundation. We haven't set the date for the gala yet, but what's going on there?
So we're going to pick a date at some point. I know everybody's been busy and traveling out of town. Everybody's settling down, but we're still actively involved in community. We got our bus, so I got the title to that bus that was given to us. Yes, donated to the foundation. I can't wait to get that down. Tampa Bay is going to love this. Anybody's driving around Tampa Bay is going to see it. They're hear it here first, but they'll see it as soon as it gets down here. It's getting some touch-up work going for it, but we're going to use that to help raise money for the families that are in need, our veterans that are in need, children that need, are wanting a scholarship and get into the aviation industry. So we're still pushing forward with that to make sure that we give back to our community as much as our community is given to us. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll get a date on the gala. We just don't know when yet.
Yeah, we don't know when, where, but stay tuned. WillSmithAviation.com. Also, check out CrabIslandSeafoodDip.com. Tom, final thought, man.
I just wanted to thank you for having me on and trying my dips. And just want to let everybody also know that my business partner, Carl Riding, he's the chef and the man behind all these dips.
Okay.
So if I didn't do a shout out for him, he'd be upset. So
there you go. Carl, what's his name?
Carl Riding.
Carl Riding.
Riding a bike.
Okay.
And would just want to put on top of what Will's saying about the veterans. I'm a 100% disabled veteran from the Army, and we try to get back to the veteran group.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we do a farmers markets throughout the Tampa Bay region, and we're looking for veterans to be able to come in and help us out, run their own booth, being able to have some sense of nobility, and just hey, I'm helping out, I'm making some money,
Yeah.
and run the booth and make it themselves.
So they'll go sell the dips and things like that.
Set up dips, they get paid, they
Nice.
get commission, everything.
Good stuff. Make some commission, part-time job, second, keep them involved. 813-917-1894. Call the hotline. We'll put you in touch online at consumerqb.com. Want to thank Jay Smith, Captain Will Smith, Thom Flavorin for coming in, all of our production staff, of course. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thank you so much for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.